Welcome to Ultimate SEO. This module will cover the concept of keywords. My name is Leo Wadsworth from leowadsworth.com. Understanding the concept of keywords is absolutely critical for success with your SEO program. In the crazy world of SEO, a keyword is actually the word or the phrase that people type into the search box to find what they are looking for. I must admit that years ago when I first heard it, my literal mind was thrown off by using keyword for what is typically a phrase. When dealing with keywords, it is very important to put aside your own preconceptions about what is important. Other people do not necessarily think the same way that you do. The magic of marketing on the internet is that we can actually gather numbers that reflect the actual words that people are using to find our websites. Mind reading. Using the incredible statistics the keywords give us allow us to virtually read the minds of our customers. We can tell how they think and the words that they use to describe their issue, problem, or desire. By feeding our solution or product back to them using the very words that they have searched on, our websites become dramatically more effective. One of the key skills in marketing is the ability to think like your customer. By putting yourself in their shoes, you are better able to understand what they are looking for and what they would like to see. Ask yourself, based on this search, what problem are they trying to solve? What information are they looking for? In fact, using in-depth keyword analysis, you can even judge how passionate they are about their problem or topic or issue, and craft your response accordingly. Keyword focus. In the world of SEO, the one thing you'll hear more than anything else is the word keyword. This is at the very heart and center of all SEO efforts. In many ways, SEO is driven by keywords. After all, keywords are the search phrase that people are actually using. And so in SEO, we focus on keywords and how they are used. It drives and controls the entire SEO program. Keywords are the link between Google and our websites. The first step is for us to identify and/or select our keywords. This process is different for old established sites versus brand new sites. For older sites, the site will already have an established identity. It covers particular topics using a particular vocabulary. In many cases, as we proceed with a solid SEO program, changes will need to be made to the original site in order to optimize it to appear in the appropriate Google search results. A brand new site is able to optimize for particular keywords more easily. It is able to change its structure, layout, and vocabulary according to what works best for SEO concerns. When identifying or selecting keywords, there are a number of different factors that come into play. Probably the two most important are relevance and usage. You want to make sure your keywords are relevant to your content, and you want to make sure that the keywords that you have chosen have the right amount of usage. When we talk about usage for keywords, what we're really referring to is the number of searches which are conducted using that particular keyword. In many cases, especially for a brand new site, you may only have a general idea of the topics you wish to pursue. In such cases, the keyword selection can actually help you in targeting exactly how to present the content and products. As you proceed with a good SEO program, you will be optimizing your website and all of your other SEO efforts based upon your keyword selection. Big versus small. The number of specific words contained in a keyword is actually quite important. A shorter keyword is likely to be more generic. It is also likely to indicate a group of searchers who are less likely to buy today. A keyword with more words in the keyword phrase is often referred to as a long tail keyword. This actually comes from a Wired magazine article a few years back where someone graphed the frequency of various keywords. The graph started with an initial high number of searches for people using short keywords. However, The right hand of the graph, representing people using longer and longer phrases, actually contained more searches overall than the initial spike. And there were actually a lot more searches done. So think about it. Who is more likely to buy? Someone who searches on shoes, or someone who searches on sale on Nike running shoes? Many times, the longer keywords represent people more passionate about their topic or more specific in their needs and desires. The interesting paradox is that while such searches are more specific and have less usage, they are likely to give you better customers. Keywords with more words in them are likely to have fewer searches done for that particular keyword. Because there is less traffic going to that keyword, though, it will be easier to compete for rankings in the Google search results. Purchasing advertisements on the search results page for long tail keywords is also significantly cheaper than buying advertisements for short phrases. Understanding and using long tail keywords will save you money and give you better customers. Another place where long tail keywords come into play is in local searches. Quite often, when people are trying to identify local businesses, they will add the name of their city or town within the search criteria. This makes it a long tail search. For example, somebody might search on Long Beach Pet Store when they are trying to find a pet store within Long Beach. This creates a long tail specific keyword that might be tailored exactly to your business. Selecting your keywords. Selecting the keywords that you're going to use is a crucial step in your SEO program. Most of the time, you'll be starting with a general idea of what topics you want to pursue. There are some times when internet marketers hunt through a number of different potential topics in order to find the one that interests them. Finding the appropriate niche within an overall topic range is an important part of having a successful website. One of the first things you want to look at is how many searches are conducted on the keywords you are interested in. This will give you a general idea of the popularity of your topic. Be sure to examine all the different ways that people might refer to your topic. Sometimes what you'll find is that your own terminology is slightly different than the terminology most used by the general public. Sometimes, especially when working with clients, you won't have much input into refining particular niches. Instead, the key thing you'll be looking for is trying to ascertain the exact vocabulary that the potential customers are using. You want to identify niches that have a fair amount of usage using a combination of long-tail keywords. Paid traffic, such as Google AdWords, is beyond the scope of this course, but be aware that if the traffic is very large, the ads are likely to cost more than a less popular keyword. You also want to look at the number of other people who appear to be targeting that same niche. While obviously too many competitors can make it difficult to enter that space, too few competitors can indicate that there is not enough of a business opportunity for that niche to be appropriate for you. There are many tools available to you for investigating keywords. I'll be talking about a few tools later in this module. You should be aware, though, that there's a confusing array of tools available to you, each of which offer particular benefits. The tools I will be talking about briefly includes Google's own free tools, as well as tools from SpyFu, SERPFox, WordTractor, and SERP Analytics. Business considerations. There are some business considerations that should be taken into account in your selection of appropriate keywords. The first thing you want to determine is, are people passionate about the niche represented by your potential keywords? The number of searches on your potential keywords will give you a general idea about the size of your audience, but you really want to determine the passion of that same audience. However, if the audience is too small, of course, you'll want to avoid that niche. One way to evaluate that passion is to look at the variety of long-tail keywords reported by the keyword tools. For example, let's say that you were looking at bulldogs as a potential niche. I would expect that this to be a niche that some people are very passionate about. As such, I would expect to find searches such as bulldog food, bulldog training, purebred bulldogs, and many, many more. This would indicate a number of people who are interested and passionate about finding specific information and or products related to bulldogs. Another way of judging passion is to look to see if there are news and events surrounding your potential niche. Using the same example, you could look for bulldog shows. Once you have determined that there is a significant, passionate community surrounding your potential niche and keywords, then you need to evaluate your own ability to add value to the community. Can you provide content or products that fit that niche? Your content needs to be new and interesting. It needs to add value to the community of people in that niche. You also need to evaluate the amount of content you will be able to provide. Do you have enough knowledge or resources to provide content and or products for the long term? One of the things Google looks at when evaluating websites is their ability to produce a steady stream of new content. However, you do not need to know everything about the niche in advance. If you're able to research the topic and add value, it can work fine. Also, you can outsource the production of content or use products such as interviews to leverage the knowledge of experts in the field. Finally, for a business, you need to honestly evaluate if the people in that niche have money that they're willing to spend on that niche. One way to do that is to examine the number of searches using keywords such as free or cheap in conjunction with your potential keywords. Okay, let's look at the Google Keyword Tools. The first tool you should allow yourself to become very familiar with is from Google itself. Google provides an extensive set of keyword tools in order to support people who are advertising on the search results page using Google AdWords. These tools will allow you to get a general idea of how much traffic there is for a particular keyword. This gives you a good idea about the general size of your potential audience. Google's tools can also suggest alternative keywords that might be interesting to you. By looking at related keywords, you can gain a good understanding of the vocabulary used by members of your potential niche. The cost for ads for your keywords. We'll also know about the size and budgets of your competition. You can get to these tools by signing up for a free AdWords account at adwords.google.com. Don't worry, even if you are not planning on ever advertising on Google, the account is free, and you will not run up any charges unless you actually place an ad. You will find the tools under the Tools and Analysis section of the main menu. SpyFu. SpyFu, which you can find at spyfu.com, is an interesting tool that allows you to look at what other companies are doing. It specifically uses data surrounding Google AdWords in its analysis. However, this data is also very valuable when evaluating your potential keywords and niches. You can see who is advertising on a particular keyword. You can also see what other keywords these people are advertising on. You can also get an idea for how much they are spending on those ads. This information will let you know who your competition is and how much they feel the market is worth. It is also a great source for other keywords you might have overlooked. In essence, you get the benefit of their research and experimentation for free. SpyFu is a paid service, however they do offer a fair amount of functionality for free. SERPFOX from SERPFOX.com. It provides a great tool for seeing how your keywords are ranking in the search engine results relative to your website. When you do a search from the Google website, Google combines any knowledge that it has about previous searches that you have done with the result that it calculates. This means that just searching using a keyword related to your site may not give you an accurate picture of how that keyword is really performing. There are ways around this, such as clearing all of your cookies from your browser, never logging into Google with a particular browser, using a proxy to access Google, etc. But the easiest way to avoid these kinds of distortions and get an accurate search result is by using a service such as SERPFOX. Using this service, you are able to see how your site is ranking for a particular keyword. In other words, you can see where your site comes up within the search results. A tool such as this also allows you to track multiple keywords at the same time. You can see a history of how your keywords have been tracking previously. You are also able to track groups of keywords for several different domains at the same time. Like SpyFu, SERPFOX is available in both free and paid versions. Other tools. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of different tools available. One tool that is interesting is the keyword tool for YouTube. People do quite a bit of searching on YouTube, and this tool lets you know about their searches, very much like the AdWords tools lets you know about normal searches. Microsoft has a free tool for keyword analysis called Microsoft Advertising Intelligence. Interestingly, this tool is an Excel plugin, but it does have some value. A site that I have found useful myself is SERPanalytics.com. This site provides statistics which are similar to SpyFu, as well as other analytical tools. Finally, one of the classic sites for keyword analysis is WordTracker.com. As of this writing, they have a free trial which lets you investigate the tools more fully. What you're going to need to do is try them yourself and find the best tools that work for you in identifying the keywords for your niche.